I'm Amy Zawi with the Jerusalem Connection Red Alert Report for Wednesday, April 7. What's the latest campus craziness? And why do we care? Well, we care because university professors are teaching our young people and our young adults how to critically think, or at least they're supposed to be. And university professors are generally very influential on students and can, either on purpose or inadvertently, skew and frame students' perspectives and knowledge on any given topic. The report I have for you today is, in my opinion, about professors who are purposefully editing and revising history and framing perspectives and opinions as educational content, all at the expense of Jews or Israel or both. According to the Floridan newspaper, an article by Javier Manjerres on April 5, 2021 was published that Florida International University, had a private, high-priced, high-ranking university and with a significant Jewish population among its student body, well, they have a professor for a required criminal justice degree program that is assigning anti-Semitic readings and written work. Jewish students have reported this to the local newspaper in their shock and dismay about the coursework they have to take. Professor Ronald Morales' class, called Terrorism and Homeland Security, again a required course for the criminal justice majors, includes a required textbook reading called Terrorism and Homeland Security, 9th edition, by Jonathan R. White. In this textbook, Israel appears to be depicted essentially as a little Satan, while Islamic terrorist groups such as Hamas and Hezbollah are described as, quote, health and social welfare and education organizations that only have a military wing to resist the Israeli Defense Forces, or the IDF. Now, this book includes such quotes as, quote, the policies of Zionists is generally to turn Jewry into a nation where the emphasis is not only based on race, but the biblical myth of the promised land and territorial sense of the land, unquote. This reported by one of Morales' students. As disturbing as that is, the students then have to write various essays with the prompts, reacting to the prompts focusing on Zionist terrorism. In another article just last week from JNS, the Jewish News Service, reveals another disturbing evidence of an off-the-rail professor teaching our young people, our college-age students, to hate Israel and by default propagate anti-Semitism for yet another generation. Moshe Phillips' article entitled Israel Bashing Disguised as Jewish Studies reports that Randolph-Macon College in Northern Virginia, central Northern Virginia, which happens to rank among the top 150 liberal arts colleges of today, they have a history professor named Michael Fishbach, whose latest essay took a spotlight in the American Jewish History Journal. This issue features a lot of heavily footnoted essays on topics such as healthcare workers on the Lower East Side in the 1900s and debates among the Orthodox Jews over family planning in the 50s, among other things. And among all these documented and heavily evidenced pieces is Michael Fishbach's tirade against Israel, presented as a normal scholarly book review. According to Fishbach's resume, he has a history of working with extremists such as the Pro-PLO Institute for Palestine Studies and writing articles for the Journal of Palestine Studies, a viciously anti-Israel and propaganda publication. So with that resume, his essay was then published by the Jewish History Journal. So we have two problems here. The essay, written by a professor, which is riddled with historical inaccuracies, omissions, and spin, and that makes me wonder what the students who go through his classes come out thinking and believing about Israel and its founding days and its current circumstances. And then we have the question of why on earth this journal that Mr. Phillips seems more concerned about in his article, why the journal gave such face time and credibility, quite frankly, to this Israel-bashing, unscholarly essay. Moshe Phillips' claim is that we should all be outraged when a respected Jewish academic journal publishes a virulent attack on Israel disguising it as scholarship. And he's right. Phillips concludes his article not necessarily angry at Fishbach, but at the editors of the journal, stating, quote, "They owe the American Jewish community and the journal's board of directors an apology. An apology for violating their own scholarly standards, not to mention the rules of boundaries of good taste, by publishing Michael Fishbach's vile attack on Israel." Unquote. I bring these two of many examples about professors on college campuses in North America to your attention so that we can take these professors, their mouthpieces, their pulpits, their podiums, any outlets their tirades are tolerated on, and we can meet them with precise and reasoned rebuttal. I am not for censorship, but I am for open debate and a free market press for ideas and validity and value to said ideas. Several other instances of universities hosting anti-Semitic speakers came across my desk this week, as well as incidents of anti-Semitic events and hostilities among the student body or the campus grounds. I didn't have time to report on everything this week. Let us remember that college campuses are incubators of thought and culture. Therefore, we here at the Jerusalem Connection, we are doing what we can to influence truth among our young people. That is why our scholarship program means so much to us, and it is a means to that end, one student at a time. Shavua Tov, and have a great week.